If you have it with you, please take out your vocabulary when I say go. You will have 5 seconds. Go. 5, 4, 3. Kind of taking out her vocabulary. Not taking out her vocabulary. Bobby's taking out his vocabulary. Laquan has his vocabulary out. 3 seconds. 3. Tommy slam. 2. Cindy is sitting. 1. Shasky standing. And 0. Solid. We are no longer moving in 3, 2. That is out of seat. 1. And 0. Staying. Tracking to the board. Okay. The first word. Jamie. Standing up. Quick stand check. Make sure that your chairs are tucked all the way in. That your hands are on top of the desk. That your feet are flat on the ground. That you're not sitting in a fraction. You're going all the way through. Anthony. Thank you. The first word that we're going to go over is the word distinction. On 3, you're going to say the word in a loud voice. Distinction on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Distinction.
Nicely done. The word distinction means what? Please read the definition out loud for us, Jelani.
The distinction, the condition of being a similar or distinct difference.
Thank you. Stop and track me in 3, 2. Naz is tracking, Jamie is tracking, Jesse is tracking, Livia is tracking. What I want you to take from that, okay, it's a pretty wordy definition, and it can be, Jamie's tracking, and it can be pretty confusing. But what I want you to take from this is distinction. We're talking about someone who's trying to be distinct. It's someone who is trying to be different, okay? The key word here is dissimilar. You're not trying to be Terry, tracking. You're not trying to be, you're trying to be different from everyone else. And you're going to see some examples where you'll see that if you are trying to be distinct from everyone else, Jamie, Cindy, you're not trying to be like your teammates. You're trying to be different. What is a part of speech? Complete sentence. Let's leave it, Kiana. You're not leaning over to me up. What is it, Maya? The part of speech is?
Noun.
The part of speech is a noun. Read the first sample sentence for us, please. Christine.
It has the distinction of being the oldest house on the block.
It has the distinction of being the oldest house on the block. Pause. Tracking in 3, 2, 1. Jamie's tracking, Cindy's tracking, Jelani's tracking. I know that you have this packet in front of you that you're going to want to look through. But it's really distracting, Crystal, when you're flipping through the packet. So I'm going to ask you now, please make sure the packet stays on your desk. Do not touch the packet at this time. You will not need it just yet. Sample sentence. It has the distinction of being the oldest house on the block. What do you know about the house on the block? So you're driving in the car with your friends, and your friend points out one and says, oh, that house. It has the distinction of being the oldest house on the block. What do you know about this house? You see the definition. What do you know about this house? Turn and track. Janae. Janae did not speak to him. Oh, Maya's tracking, Naz is tracking, Giovanna is tracking, Talia is tracking. Go ahead, Janae. That it's old house on the block. Talia, are there other houses on the block that are just old? Or is this one different from the others? What do you think?
I said no. This is the only house on the block.
That is what? That is probably really old. So we know because of the word distinction, this house is different from the others. It is probably the oldest house on the block. Okay. Can you describe personal qualities that might be a distinction? I'm going to reword this for you so it's a little bit clearer. Thank you, Janae, for tracking. Jelani's tracking. What about a person might make us distinct from other people? What might make us different from other people? Think about it. Show me strong vertical hands if you want to share out. What might make a person distinct from other people? Jamie has a strong vertical hand. Marlene has a strong vertical hand. Christine has a strong vertical hand. Celia has a strong vertical hand. Christine, what do you think? Try to track Christine. Christine, you're not speaking, so you have eyes. Cindy's tracking. Marlene's tracking. Go ahead, Christine.
Something about a person that makes them distinct from other is like the way they act.
Give me an example.
So say if you like some people, like most of the people in your class are like they say you have this way like when you're tired or something.
So how would you be if you're say you haven't slept, right? You said all the people in your classroom are really nice, but you haven't gotten any sleep. How would you act distinct from your teammates?
Well,
You're gonna track your teammates. How would you act distinct from them?
will act distinct from them because you might be cranky and like if somebody asks you something you might not respond in a weird way, so you might be sarcastic or something.
Exactly. Now think about this question. Do you think that people try to be distinct from one another? Bobby, nothing's in your hands, and that's the correction. Track me. 3, 2, 1. I want everyone to think about this in your minds because you're going to turn and talk in just a moment. Do you think that people try to be distinct from one another? Do people try to be different from one another? Or are there times when maybe people don't want to be distinct? Maybe people want to be like everyone else. Are there times when people want to be distinct from one another? Or does that never happen? Think about it. Take 10 seconds to think about it in your mind. When I say go, you're going to turn and talk with the person directly next to you. The window to partner speaks first. You'll have 1 minute. Go. What do you know? Sky's tracking. Lonnie's tracking. Vivian's tracking. Ryan's tracking. Jamie's tracking. What do you think? Do you think that there are times when people try to be distinct from one another? Or do people always try to be similar or like someone else? Please turn and track them out. Janae's tracking. Nada's tracking. Cindy's tracking. Kiana's tracking. Jamie's and Bobby. So each major adjustments, but usually you're tracking them out. Anthony, you've all started major adjustment for just expected to please turn and track. Go ahead.
I do think people try to be distant from one another.
When would they try to do that? When would they try to be distinct? Tell me more. Who can help out? When would someone, you're right, people can try to be distinct from one another. When would someone, I know you had a really great example, but I don't know why you're sharing it. When would people try to be distinct from one another? Please turn and track Kyra. Jamie's tracking. Harry. Stefan tracking. When would people try to be distinct from one another? Use the word.
They were trying to be distinct from one another when say the whole class is not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Then they want to be the ones that follow the directions and not like follow after other people being leaders.
Excellent example. Okay. We're gonna see this. Okay. Which person is distinct in this picture and why I'm looking for strong vertical hands? Therese has a strong vertical hand. Demel has a strong vertical hand. Chris has a strong vertical hand. Therese, turn and track Therese. Jamie's tracking. Jose is tracking. Kiana is tracking. Jelani is tracking. Go ahead, Therese. Who in this picture is distinct and tell me why? Use the word.
The person that is distinct is the man in the front
Which one? Describe him.
He looks like a clown.
Okay, and why is he distinct, Trees?
Cause the other
So he is the complete sentence.
he is distinct because he's wearing colorful stuff and the other people in the back are not.
So does he look similar to the other people or does he look different?
Different.
He looks, the complete sentence.
He looks different.